Hello. Greetings from Waliczka, near Krakow in Poland, once again, at almost the year's end. Another fantastic year, of course, almost finished, but I'm not here to talk about that or how I might feel towards the next 12 months either. The world's a fucking mess right now, isn't it? But yeah, and yeah, things don't look like they're going to get better next year either, to be honest. But never mind that. Let's focus on the positives, or try to at least. Um, I haven't really got anything to uh, talk about regarding new releases or anything at the moment. There's nothing new out right now because, of course, it's a quiet time at the moment and will be for the next 2 or 3 weeks. However, I thought maybe it's time to remind you of the fact that I have a third label event at London's Cafe OTO on May the 18th. That's a Saturday as well, so it's quite a good day for such an event. This is my third one in London and my second at OTO. The first one at OTO was, in 2018, late 2018. I then did another event in London the following year for 2 nights, for two consecutive nights at the Dublin Castle. And I haven't done anything since for various reasons. But next year, I thought it's time to redress the balance and maybe do a third one. Maybe it'll be the last. I don't know. They have been successful, the label nights so far. At least in terms of the amount of interest they had and the fact that I don't know if they completely sold out, but they were full, pretty full. I think the OTO one sold out. The Dublin Castle over 2 nights was probably not sold out, but almost. But it was over 2 nights, and both nights were rammed. So this time, true to form, I've got ATV once again headlining. I've had them every time. I just think they're really phenomenal live. And also, I've said this before, but I like the idea of. I've worked with ATV anyway. These are label showcases, but I like the idea of ATV being included with kind of non-directly punk related artists. So I think I'm hopefully putting them in a different context, with my bills to what they might normally at least get offered. I don't think they generally accept these offers now, but they used to. And yeah, I've got to know Mark Perry quite well over the last few years because of the book primarily, and I knew him anyway. But the further away he is from, I think he feels the further away he is from, direct punk, um, uh, influences or a punk setting or whatever, the better he feels. I think he feels more comfortable with that. So anyway, ATV. Also, as I said, they're just bloody good live. So ATV will headline. Then Edward Ka-Spel will go on first in the evening. He asked to go on first when we started discussing it. So he's not doing any legendary Pink Dots material, to my knowledge. It's a solo set, although I think he will have a collaborator with him. So Edward going on first, that's his own request. For me, it's no problem. There are no egos, nobody cares really who goes on first or last or whatever. We're all too long in the tooth for that. But my group will go on second. Splintered will go on second, and then there will be another artist after us who are more similar to Edward Ka-Spel, more electronics in nature, abstract and quite intense and abrasive at times as well. So they will go on after us. That's to be confirmed. I'm not going to say who it is just yet either, because it won't be confirmed until late February. Some people might have an idea who it might be, but the person behind the project in question would rather not announce anything just yet. So and because he's a busy guy and he might well have other commitments. So so if this particular project doesn't or artist doesn't play, then most likely Kluster will fill the gap, and it will probably change the arrangement for the evening. At the moment, just to clarify this, Edward Ka-Spel first, electronics, abstract electronics, then Splintered, my group, which also uses electronics, but is a kind of full group. So it's pretty intense and noisy. And again, it's a full group, so it's going to be loud and well, I'm not saying that Edward Ka-Spel or the next artist won't be loud or noisy or whatever, but certainly we're going to have a fuller sound, and it's a band as well. So the idea is we've got the Edward Ka-Spel collaboration at the start, full group, then there's another artist or possibly duo as well, and then a full group again. So it just creates this dynamism. That's how I look at it. Again, we're all too long in the tooth for egos and shit like that. So it really is just about that, really. This dynamism, at least in terms of what the audience can look at. I'll just turn this down. I'm listening to this at the moment. Excuse me. The second Kluster album. I hadn't played this for I don't know, a good couple of years, I think. And I played this and the first album. What's it called? Klopfjeiken. Probably mispronouncing that. But this, what is it? Zwei Osterei. I'm probably mispronouncing that as well. It's from 1971, and the debut I think was from 1970. I've got the third album, Eruption, from 73 or 74 as well, also on CD. I don't have vinyl of these. I do have some other Kluster on vinyl, but the later Kluster with where they start the name with C, and it goes into kind of more ambient, but very interesting ambient music. But these albums where they spelt their name with a K, and you've got Konrad Schnitzler and Mobius, or Mubius, I don't know again how you pronounce it, and Rodelius, the trio at the core of the group, creating very organic electronic music, pretty abstract and improvisational in nature as well. So really doing the job for me right now. It's what I'm in. Well, I went through a Bowie phase again a few days ago, but this is what I'm in the mood for at the moment. I've also been working away at some review material, and I also played this repeatedly several days ago, Reverse Image. This is the only CD, to my knowledge, by a Malaysian artist and a solo artist. And what she does here is really, really interesting. I couldn't stop playing it. It was in the CD player for the best part of two days, maybe three. I just kept. Well, I think I had a breakaway for some Bowie, but then this went back in again. So really nice. And I'm working with her as well. But more about that in a minute. Reverse Image. Anyway, try and. I think I've got one or two spare copies of this, which I'll be putting into my Discogs shop So if you're interested, look at my Discogs shop. I'll link that below as well. And the same as the OTO event, that will be linked below. So again, it could change. I do know that tickets are selling quite well for the OTO show on May the 18th as well. So if you are interested, get in fast. I say that about many things, and I think people think I'm bullshitting them, and I'm really not. I very often whinge and whine and moan and groan about things, but generally, some things that I get involved with my releases and whatever do okay, you know, and the events in London have all proved quite successful so far. I did think about doing one in Krakow, but I was warned by a friend, a close friend of mine here, that it's not worth doing because of the fact that there'd be zero interest. That might well be true. I did do a couple of festivals here in Krakow. I've put on many groups over the years. I haven't done for a number of years now, but I have put on artists here in Poland, not only in Krakow. I put on White House, Cut Hands, Andrew Lyles, Human Greed, Faust, which became a live document that I released, and then Steve Pittis re-released it on vinyl. I did a double CD version. Who else? Some other artists as well. Kleistvar, JFK, I think. A number anyway. My own groups, Splintered, Theme, Jolt Chorez, Jean-Hervé Perron. So a few things, but I haven't done that for a number of years. And I have to say, when I last did a festival in Krakow, 10, 8, 9, 10 years ago, whenever it was, I did that 2 years running in December actually, and there was not a huge crowd, and both events lost money. So maybe my friend is absolutely right in stating that there'd be no or almost no interest. So fuck it. I'm not rich, um, and I don't have money to lose on such things. But the idea is nice. You know, I'd love to have a few artists that I work with come to Poland and play an event in Krakow over 1 or 2 nights, but it's just unlikely. And I'm not one for backing beyond what I do with pre-orders, where it's the actual customers kind of buying something they're going to get later. But I'm not into arts grants and such like. I hate all that shit, to be honest. Even though I've done a couple of releases, or I agreed to a couple of releases that were certainly arts grant funded, even in the last year or so. But generally, I find it all pretty abhorrent. And I got into a discussion about such things maybe earlier this year, actually, or late last year, late 2022, and with somebody about this, and somebody said or made the point that, well, you know, this money has to go somewhere. It might as well go to, you know, some low key bottom of the ladder artists who are given to creating, you know, so-called experimental music or avant-garde music, and they may as well get a slice of the cake rather than it just sit around doing nothing, or probably line some local politician's pocket or whatever. So I understand that, but there's something that kind of stinks for me. I've never been happy with arts funding and artists that are so dependent on all that bullshit as well. I've got, maybe it's my old, you know, punk roots or whatever. Call them what you like, you know. I just prefer artists that hammer away at their own bloody work or their vision, and they do it themselves, and they dive into their own bloody pockets. If you're not prepared to do that, then fuck off, you know. It's my general opinion. So Um, yeah, it's as simple as that. Um, so yeah, I'm well, I work with artists who still rely on arts funding and everything else. So uh, I understand their rationale. you know. Um, anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. Let's have a slurp of coffee. So, just to round off, yeah, it was mainly about the Otto thing that I'm here because I just thought I haven't mentioned it for a while. The poster will be used for the for the main image for this upload as well, so you can see that. Um, I've used it before, but I'll use it again. I probably even spoke about the event on the old YouTube channel that I had. I used to have another Fourth Dimension YouTube channel, and it got hacked. It even had almost 300 subscribers, which is far more than what I have now. I think when that got hacked and went, well, you can still find the content on YouTube, but I couldn't access it anymore. Um, Maybe I could have written to YouTube and found a way around it, but I just couldn't be bothered. I just set up a new YouTube channel. But when that when it went into stasis, uh, I um I seem to have lost lots of subscribers as well. I think I had about 280 or something, and now it's 70. Which doesn't surprise me really. Looking at this, surprised I've got anybody subscribing to the channel. To be honest, um, uh, but yeah, there are reasons why I do this, and I've got over those many times in the past as well. I can't complain that nobody's promoting what I do if I'm not really, utilizing what's available myself. YouTube's available. I thought I would use it, and also, it gives me a chance to sound off about various things, even you know other releases, um, old and new. And also, and sometimes my own releases, such as the latest alternative TV album, Direct Action. Um, which got a glowing review in the December edition of the Wire magazine. Yeah, fantastic review, and it's even listed in their top albums of 2023. And a few people from the Wire even wrote to me and said how much they like this album. One even ordered a copy, a physical copy for himself. Um, so it's genuine, unlike the book review in the Wire that was also in the same edition, where it received a very lukewarm review. Mark Perry and I were lambasted for various reasons. Um, the guy completely got Mark Perry wrong as well, I think, and it was quite condescending towards my own work on the book as well. So, which I wasn't too pleased about, but at the same time, it's his opinion, and fuck it. Probably a pretentious twat, So, but um, yeah, and again, it's just his opinion. But I think he overlooked quite a number of things, uh, and I don't know. He seemed quite dismissive of the book anyway. I guess he felt he could have done better, or he expected better. But I think we did quite well with the book, Mark and I. Considering we're just a couple of, underclass oiks. So originally, or no classless, no class, whatever. Anyway, yeah. Some people might wonder how I could even string a few sentences together, given my background. But I can. Very quickly. Yeah, as I said at the beginning, no new releases to talk of. If you're still waiting for a copy of that all copies have been shipped. I have received a couple more direct orders. in the last week or so. But of course, we've had Christmas, and now New Year is impending as well. Yeah, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And I'm waiting for the arrival of some more cardboard protectors. I ran out a week or so ago, and I had to order some more. So hopefully they will be here sometime next week. And once they're here, I'll deal with the rest of the orders, or the recent orders. Um, but if you're interested in a copy of that, you know, please feel free to order one. Of which it's also included in a couple of deals I've got going until February as well. A couple of really big deals, a little pricier than usual, but there's a lot of stuff included in those deals, vinyl and CD. And then there's also the CD deal ongoing as well. So, and if you've already partaken in the CD deal and you're interested in upgrading to the premium or regular vinyl and CD deals, just write to me and we'll work out the difference, owed. Uh, but very quickly, Edward Ka-Spel's LP should arrive in a few weeks' time. Tales from the Trenches, quite an appropriate title, really, given what's going on next door. And absolutely devastating news today regarding that. Anyway, I live in Poland, just to remind you, as I always say at the start, so if you know your geography, you'll know which country is next door to Poland. Yeah, Edward Ka-Spel's LP should arrive late January. The final double LP was also pushed back. I'll make sure that's underway for the following month. And then we've got the compilation When Worlds Collide double LP due in spring. There's a Mummies and Madmen CD that will go into production later in January. There's also, from the person responsible for the Reverse Image CD, here it is again, a CD by a project called Fallen Sun that will also appear on Fourth Dimension, and that will be going into production during the next couple of weeks. So that's also happening. And once I've got more details, there will be pre-order information included in the shop. And to that end, there will also be pre-order information included in the shop, hopefully next week, regarding a Hunting Lodge triple LP reissue set of 3 releases they initially put out in 84, 85. So there'll be news about that in a week or so as well. We're just kind of finalizing details at the moment. So a hefty triple LP set. Yeah, coming by Hunting Lodge, America's Hunting Lodge, which I'm very happy to do as well. The material from that period, and what's the other one that I really, really like? The Will album from 83 or 84. That's really good as well. So that will be happening, and there's something else as well. A couple of other things: Mummies and Madmen, I mentioned. Fallen Sun, I mentioned. Hunting Lodge. Oh, a Mott book of his artwork and a CD with some new music on. That will be announced next week as well. A limited edition book featuring lots of his artwork, some text. There'll be an interview with him as well, just a short interview, filling up a few pages at the back of the book. And it will be hardback. And if you like Nick Mott's work, his music, or his art, or both, this is the book for you, or the package for you. So that's happening. And also, Nick Mott, Hunting Lodge, Fallen Sun, Mummies and Madmen. Splintered is happening. My group, Splintered, we're finishing the new album finally, and I think we'll have that ready to go into production during February, March, hopefully. And there's also a Bass Communion album underway as well. Bass Communion. So the very first Bass Communion album for around 12 or 13 years, I think. And that's going to be a nice package. There'll be a deluxe CD, a regular CD, and vinyl. And we're discussing coloured vinyl options as well. Maybe there'll be a limited edition coloured vinyl version as well as regular black vinyl. So a few things, just waiting to happen at the moment. So a few things that I'll be announcing in, during the next few weeks. And that's really it. So I'll be back here soon anyway. So just go over some of that stuff and update you on whatever's going on or not going on with the Edward Ka-Spel LP. So I'll be back here soon. In the meantime, thanks for everybody. As I always say, thanks for everybody who has supported the labels, the books, whatever other endeavors I get up to over the last 12 months. It's all appreciated. Even if you just write, spread the word, or even if you just order a CD, or more and more people seem to be sending larger orders these days. So I think that might indicate that I'm doing something right. Maybe I'm doing something, that seems of more value or more interesting to people. Yeah. So yeah, So yeah, thanks to everybody who's helped in any big or small way over the last 12 months. Even if you just spread the word or write words of encouragement or whatever, it's all appreciated. The same as, even just doing something with this YouTube channel or whatever, spreading, or hitting the the like button or whatever, or subscribing, whatever. It's all bullshit really, but of course it just shows at least some people are paying attention. It shows me that some people are paying attention. It makes me feel like I'm doing something right. And hopefully see you all in 20. Well, I'm not going to see you, am I? But hopefully you'll be back here for it, for this more of this bullshit in 2024. So in another few weeks or so. Thanks a lot, and all the best for 2024 as well. Cheers.